Happy Friday. We made it through another week. And I'm going to drink my coffee and wait a moment to see if anyone is able to join me tonight. I do apologize for missing last Friday night. It's just been super hectic. Today was the first day, or I'm sorry, this was the first week of back to school. So the semester started, my new job started, my PhD stuff started. It was just a lot happening. And I really needed to be prepared for it. So I just had to get a lot of other things done last weekend, but that's okay. So I'm gonna drink some coffee, listen to some chill music. If you're watching the replay of this, let me know how your week went and what you're doing this weekend. I've mostly only worked on writing stuff for school. I've done no journaling this week, no long form journaling either. I did, however, go through and jot down some of the things that I wanted to put in my traveler's notebook. So at least that's something. Sometimes it's all we can do. Got my Clampy. So I'm just gonna stick with the basics tonight and just draw my cat comic. And I hope to hear from you all to see what's going on in your neck of the woods. It is very hot here today. It is 100 degrees, which that's in Fahrenheit. So for my non-US viewers, I want to say that's like, is that like 40 degrees Celsius? Something like that. Sorry, I'm not really good with Celsius. Yeah. So I am on a little bit earlier than I normally would be, and I think that might be how it has to work now because with my teaching schedule and everything, I have to leave my house every day around 6:45 in the morning, which means I'm waking up before 6 o'clock. So I can no longer stay up late pretty much. Like now it's almost 7 o'clock and I feel like I could already go to bed. So I'm just trying to push through to get used to like this adjustment. Maybe next week it'll be better, I'm not sure. And then maybe a little bit later, if anyone's interested, I'll show what I've been carrying around on campus every day in my Milu pencil case and what notebook I've been using. So today I had a 3-hour research seminar, which I'll have every Friday from 12:30 to 3:30, so that was fun. So we're just gonna do a little bit of drawing to kind of get back into the swing of things. I feel like I'm always trying to get back into the swing of things. I think now I'm just gonna not say that I was ever out of the swing of things. Because that's just how things are sometimes. Okay, how do I want to draw waking up early? Well, it was dark, so maybe I'll draw my cats. And then through the window you can see the moon? That sounds good. And then maybe him stretching. Maybe him yawning. I don't know how to do that. And then maybe the bed. Jessica's here. Happy Friday, Jessica. How was your week? And what are you up to this weekend? I survived my first week of teaching college. So I'm a little more tired than I would normally say. Hi, Sophia Isabel. I hope you're having a good week. Let us know what you're doing on Friday. Banani's here. You just jumped on. Thank you. It was an interesting week. I will say the first week of my job was better than I thought. Teaching went well. There was just logistical issues on the first day. One of them being that my classroom was locked. And also the air conditioning in the classroom was broken and it was 100 degrees. So I called for security, and even when I called security, they acted like all confused why I wanted to get into the classroom. Because it was around 7:15 in the morning, class starts at 8 o'clock, and it's in a weird engineering campus. So I was there early, and they're like, oh, you need to get in the classroom? I'm like, yeah, I have a class to teach. And I just thought it was weird because it was the first day of classes at this very large university that has 30,000 students. Like, why would a classroom not be unlocked? So that was funny. But then I spoke to facilities and they said they were gonna fix the AC, and they did. Today was a lot better. So that's good. And the students are really nice. All of them are very respectful, and they take their education seriously, and it's just nice to have. Jessica had a short work week, so that means a great week on 2 days. Well, that's awesome. Are you doing anything fun? I'll tell you, I'm not doing anything fun this weekend. I'm doing nothing. My brain is kaput after 2 weeks of all that. I told myself this weekend I can do whatever I want. I do have to do some reading for my PhD seminar, but I told myself Saturdays I'm not going to do any work. Saturday's like my fun day. So first day of teaching, let's draw him at the podium. A 100 degrees. Isn't that crazy? Really? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that since the hiccups were first thing in the morning and the first day, and it was off to a rough start, that means the rest of the time is going to be really good. So I also learned that the students need they need specific prompts and guidance, and you have to ask them specific questions. You have to they respond well to structure, I guess is what I'm saying. And I'm so used to working with students who are kind of okay with going with the flow. All of these students are very they need to know every specific thing, and when we're done, and when we're doing this, and when it's due, and all that stuff. So I had to adjust some of my approaches from that, but I did that today with a writing prompt at the beginning of class, and I think that really helped. So I plan on doing that every day. Jessica was on vacation from last Thursday to Tuesday this week. You went camping. Where did you go camping, and was it 100 degrees out? I hope it wasn't. And then Tuesday we had a really big faculty meeting with basically the entire department, and it was probably between 75 and 80 people in the room. Um, I didn't know that they were gonna like introduce me and talk about me, and I had to like stand up in front of everyone, so that was a little bit embarrassing. I don't like attention on myself in that regards. Obviously, I like attention when you all join me on YouTube, but standing in front of 100 people, many of them who are distinguished in their field, and my supervisors and all that, just made me a little nervous for a Wednesday, or what was it, Tuesday? I'm sorry. And Jessica, you're so right, because I think they proved that 30 minutes in nature, like going for a walk through a park or whatever, like releases the serotonin in your brain. It makes you feel happier. So I'm sure camping and being in nature for that long like really works wonders. But Bonani says micromanaging. Yeah, I think I think it's because they're all 18 and they're all at university for the first time, and they also all have to live in the dorms because it's like a residential school and all first years are required to live there. So I think it's just like they're so used to all the structure, and they just kind of, that's how they flourish, I guess. Maybe like in a year or two when they're a little bit older and they're used to college, that they'll be better. And then we also had a nice reception on Tuesday, um, at a brewery, and they had it like catered and everything. And I got to talk to a lot of my future supervisors and colleagues, and it was really cool. I didn't think I was gonna be able to handle it, and I ended up staying for like 4 hours. So, an hour away, a camp resort on a lake. It was warm, but you were more than kind of glampy. Okay, you had an RV with AC. Yeah, I could do that. I can't do a tent with no AC or wolves and bears like running amok, but I could do an RV with a phone charger and an AC. Absolutely. But I will say, at our big faculty meeting, the director of our department, um, who, funny story, I met her like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was not my best. I literally was like running around campus doing a bunch of errands, and I had to go pick up my computer, and I was wearing shorts and like sandals because again it was 100 degrees, and I didn't think I was gonna run into anyone when I went to pick up my computer in the office, and she was in there, and she knew who I was because she hired me, right? But I didn't really know who she was, and I just talked to her, and I was like sweating and like just frazzled because I needed to get somewhere else and leave. So I like talked to her quickly, and I kind of like tried to go really fast and get myself out the door so I can move on. Um, I don't think she had a bad impression of me. I just think I was just caught off guard. But anyway, she gave a really interesting speech that she wrote and talked about some really interesting things that happen in the world and happening in the classroom and happening for us, and like all about like human emotions, and it was very like profound. Of course she is like a, I don't know if she's a poet or something, but she has a PhD in English, so I'm sure she has some kind of writing skills. But I liked hearing what she had to say, so that was kind of cool. And then maybe I'll just draw some chairs with cat ears. So has anyone worked on your journal or planner or done anything this week? Jessica, did you do any journaling when you were camping? I also bought a new bird feeder, which was exciting because the bird feeder I have in my backyard, the squirrels somehow got a hold of the perches and the ring that goes around the perches that goes in the bird feeder that helps keep the seeds in there. I don't know how they did it, but they somehow ripped them out and like threw them across the patio. So now if you put birds in that bird seeder, it all falls out like it was broken. So I went and I bought one that hopefully they cannot break. I don't know how I'm gonna draw a bird. I think I'd be able to draw birds since I'm like obsessed with them now. Um, they look like little, I don't know. Oh, Banani, let me tell you, the socializing part was the hardest part. Like, I'm not used to being at all these back to back events. Oh, we also had a group, we had faculty group photos at 8 in the morning on Tuesday. Again, it was 100 degrees. And we had to be there at 8 for our big faculty meeting at 9:30 for then my other meeting at 11. Then I had to work my government job from 12 to 4 and be at the reception starting at 4. So they made us all be there at 8. You know, they're very strict about the photographer's gonna come, we can't be late, blah, blah, blah. We're all standing outside on campus. And the photographer couldn't find us. So finally the photographer finds us. Then he sets up the first group. It was like the office staff goes first. And then it would be like, you know, associate professors, like down the line of all of us. And he starts taking the pictures and doesn't like the sun location because the clouds moved in. So we all had to move to the other side of the lawn. So we all move, and there had to have been 75 of us, people total. So we all move over there to be happier with the sunlight he was getting for his photos. Then he didn't like that. And we had to move again the third time. Mind you, everyone is sweating, like standing outside in this heat. They told us it would be 5 minutes, that we would come, be in a photo for 5 minutes. Everyone had a specific time. Then we would go back and do our meeting. We were outside for over an hour. It was just like insane. So then I had that, then the reception, then all these other it's just like a lot. I'm not used to having all those things. So the social part of it, I was more nervous about the social events that I had to go to than like my actual teaching and like all that stuff. That's a breeze compared to the like having to be on all the time, you know? So yeah. Jessica packed stuff, but not this time. 4 kids came with grandsons. Oh my goodness. 9 and 7, nieces 9 and 7. Oh yeah, you don't have time to journal. No way. But you could always journal about your trip when you get home, right? And it's less chaotic. Or maybe take some good photos and, you know, put them in your journal. Okay, so I just did a quick drawing of this week, and now let's color it in with our Dollar Tree colored pencils. Jessica, that's kind of how I felt when I went to visit my family in New Jersey. I brought my journal stuff, I brought my Kodak printer, all this, and I was super excited to journal and go for walks on the beach. But there was a constant barrage of people coming in and out that, like, I didn't have a desk. B, I never had a moment to just like sit down. Every time I sat down, someone would come in from outside or someone else would visit or like, yeah. So I had all my stuff packed, but I did zero journaling, but that's okay. Yeah, can you believe that, Banani? And I felt so bad also because the photographer was sweating and he was stressed and like Apparently, I didn't know this until we started the whole process. The reason why this was such a big deal and they required everyone to come for the photo is because that's the first time the whole department was in person since 2019. So in 2020, when COVID hit and they went online, and then some faculty, either left or they switched to be online only or whatever, this is the first year that everyone was back in person. So they wanted to have new photos, they wanted to have like a faculty group discussion and all that stuff because the past few years have been online. So it really has been 4 years since they took pictures of everyone. So I can see why that's important. But could you have made the photo be inside and not outside in August? That was my thing. I was like, it's Tennessee and it's August and we're all dressed up. Like, can you not do that? Just have it indoors somewhere with AC. But the good thing is I got to meet a lot of nice and cool people. Everyone seems pretty welcoming so far. At least I kind of have a group of people that I can talk about my PhD stuff with here, and fellow instructors that I can talk about teaching issues and all that. So I'm very grateful for that. These little Barney looking birds, oh well. Tomorrow there is a Asian festival here, and I really want to go. Really, really, really want to go. I should be able to park in a university garage that I have a permit for and walk to it. I think it'd be super awesome to go, but it's gonna be 100 degrees again tomorrow, and it's outside. So I'm like, do I want to do that? So I might have to pass on it and wait till the weather is a little bit better to be able to go out and do like those kind of festivals. Because not only is it going to be outside, it's going to be like super crowded, right? So there's going to be like crowds of people everywhere. So it makes it even hotter. Yeah, why would they not do the photo? Like, I understand that natural sunlight is better for photography, but like, no. You could have done it indoors and brought, he had like the, lighting stuff, like the equipment. So it's not like he didn't have stuff. He was a professional photographer. Yeah, it was just. Which one's more orange? I think the top one's orange. But it's all good. What else happened? Still need to watch other people's videos. I feel really behind. Oh, I will have a video coming out at some point this weekend. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm totally blanking on what the video is. So it'll be a surprise because my brain's turned off and I cannot remember what the video is going to be about. I'm no longer, stressing about keeping up with things or all the other big YouTube social media things I want to pursue. I just decided I'm going to let those things kind of happen later when I have the bandwidth and when I have like the desire, and just do my normal fun thing in the meantime. Oh, I don't know if Kim's here, or Kim, if you're watching the replay, let us know how your Korean class is going and if you started it. So for anyone who doesn't know, Kim signed up for Korean, I think Korean 1, right? Like Intro Korean at her local college. So that'll be super cool. And I look forward to hearing how her Korean class goes. I would love to take a language class, or at least Korean. I have to take a language exam, and on Monday when I have my meeting with my supervisor, I'll find out what the exam is like. From what I've heard, I have to do like a translation. Which I find kind of odd because I feel like a translation is not the same as knowing a language. Like you can learn another language, but you have to study to know how to translate it. Like that's translation is like a field, you know? And I don't know, and I like asked my coworker, I was like, well, what's the topic that you're translating? If you have to translate like some philosophical document versus translating like a day in the life of story, that is very different language wise. So we'll find out what I actually have to do. Katie's here from Katie's Nesting Spot. You're watching while you exercise on your Kindle? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You're watching on your Kindle while you're exercising. Well, good for you for exercising on a Friday night, because I am not. I am drinking coffee and maybe eating Ben and Jerry's later. So Katie is exercising for all of us that are not doing it tonight. Is it hot where you are, Katie? Because here it's like 100 degrees and I'm just over it. Jessica said not only lighting equipment, but with photo editing software nowadays, he could have done it indoors. Yeah, and now I'm like, we were all laughing because everyone was sweating, right? We're all like, are you going to Photoshop out our sweat? Because, like, it was just, yeah. Just one of those things. Yeah, you're right, Banana. Like, doesn't that mess up his equipment too? I mean, he had like a big, I don't even know what they're called, type of camera. He was very nice and he was very funny. So we all appreciated like the jokes he was making as we were trying to take those. I'm telling you, it was something out of a comedy skit because first he had, because there's an amphitheater outside with different road like benches or whatever you want to call it. First he had all the tall people in the front, and I'm the tallest, so I was down in the front row with all the other tall people, and you had the short people behind us because they were, raised, they were standing up. We all got up, we're ready to go, we're ready, right? Then he's like, actually, no, I want all the tall people in the back and all the short people in the front. So then we all like switch. And then he's like, actually, I want to have 3 rows, not 2. And at that point, we were all just like, okay, this is really just. Are we being punked or something? Like, is this candid camera? Okay, you ate an ice cream sandwich. Great, then I can eat my Ben and Jerry's. We're on a roll tonight. It's been very hot. You had a storm come through and everyone lost power in the area. We were out for 6 hours, just like what was longer. Oh, good. So it's back on for you. That's good. Whew. Is anyone having like those weird? Anyone here in California with the Didn't y'all have a hurricane in California? The weather is just wild. The planet is just burning. It just makes no sense. Well, it makes a lot of sense, honestly, but some people think that's up for debate. And I haven't been watching anything. I've been reading plenty. I've already read an entire textbook for my social research seminar. And I have to read the textbook that I'm teaching to the students so I can be one step ahead of them. So when they ask questions, I can actually answer them. So I haven't been doing much fun reading, so that's a bummer. But I'm hoping to get back into that like next week. Or this weekend, actually. As much as I want to go to Asian Festival, I don't want to go to Asian Festival if it's 100 degrees out. If Asian Festival was in a, air-conditioned shopping mall, maybe. Yeah, I think Benani, a couple of us did just say something like, okay, we're gonna leave in 5 minutes if this isn't done, because we had another meeting to go to. Yeah. Oh, and to top it all off, did I mention that it was about to start raining? Like that's why I think he was thrown off because we had sudden clouds roll in. Because you all know when it's summer and it's humid, like it can start thunderstorming at the drop of a hat. So like the clouds were coming in, and even to make it funnier, when he moved us and the clouds changed, the building that is in front of us is the tower. So we have a tower on campus. It's like a really tall, skinny building that houses the English department, a bunch of other like departments. And I guess when he moved us, he didn't think that the tower would affect the lighting because it's like a giant building. It's, you know, and then the sun rolled and like then the building was in front of the sun and he turned around. He's like, oh, the tower. I'm just like, first of all, how did you not see that giant building that's right behind us and not think that it would affect the sun? So just like all these comical things that were happening. And I was like, this is way too much for a Tuesday morning. Like, can we start over? Okay. And then probably it's Friday night, so Amber's probably working. Hopefully she's doing okay. Who else are we missing tonight? Right? It was just like nonstop things happening. And I thought this was a joke, like some cosmic joke. Actually, I'm gonna put. So the other fun thing is that parking is a huge issue at this university. Like it was literally in the newspaper because they sell, I guess, double the number of permits than there are parking spaces. Again, why do colleges do that? They had a record number of applicants this year, a record number of new students, and no new parking garages. So basically, when I go to school and I teach at 8 o'clock in the morning, there are days where I have nothing else until 2 o'clock. But if I leave the parking garage, I'll lose a spot. And if I try to come back at like 1 in the afternoon, there will be no spots. So I just basically pack my bag and I stay on campus for the entire day and then leave around 5 o'clock, like when I'm done my thing at 3:45. So that's an adjustment. I basically have my backpack and lunch packed and charger and laptop and my pencil case and everything I would need to be gone for an entire day. And the place I have to park my car for when I teach, which is at the engineering school, is all the way on the other side of where I end my day at 4 o'clock. So it's like a half-hour walk from where I end my day back to my car. Because if I tried to move my car and lose my spot to a different garage, I probably wouldn't get another spot. So silver lining, at least I'm getting my steps in, you know, and I'm walking a lot and I don't know, getting to see the whole campus, but it's just really, it's just a lot. I'm jealous of my coworkers who are able to teach in the building that our other stuff is in, so they can just park in one place and yeah. But I knew, just like when I got picked for jury duty last year, I knew I was going to get assigned a classroom in the farthest away building. It's literally the farthest possible building where on the other side of the building, it's no longer the college campus, it's the city. Like that's how out on the edge I am. But I'm kind of, I mean, I guess I can be thankful because at least I'm not like on the agricultural campus, which you have to take a shuttle to get to. So there's another silver lining. Yes, Jessica, that is my goal, is to take back my long form journaling that I've been lacking. And I think I know why, and we can talk about it. I think I know why my long form journaling is lacking, is that I'm not happy with the Stalogy notebook I've been using. It's not that I'm not happy with the paper or I'm not happy with the grid on it. Let's take a break from journaling and talk about this. I think I'm unhappy with the size of it. Yeah, I would say it's hot at night. For a while, it was actually kind of relaxing at night. Like you could just sit outside and enjoy the breeze, but it suddenly went back to 100 degrees. So here's my long form journaling setup. This is the Stalogy, which I'm bad at sizes. I don't know what size this is. Is this B6? Love the paper. Love how it works with fountain pen, all that stuff. I just think it's too small for me. Here's my hand, so it's smaller than my hand. I don't know. I think that's why I haven't been using it. It just feels too small. So I'm gonna take a look at my notebook stash to see if I can mix it up. I wanted to fill this notebook before I move on to another one, but I think I'm just going to scrap that plan because I still have so many pages left. Nothing wrong with Stalogy paper. I love the dates up here. I love everything about the Stalogy notebook, but for long form journaling, this size doesn't work for me. I say that, could be wrong. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into doing just what works for you, not telling yourself, oh, I should just fill up this notebook and journal in it. Because I should, right? If you're not journaling in it, there's probably a reason you're not. So my goal is to rethink my long form journaling setup. So when I'm on campus for 4 hours and I have, grading to do and like other kind of stuff, I could like eat my lunch while I'm journaling, or if I'm sitting and waiting for a student, like today I had office hours and no students came. So I was able to do some of the other work I had to get done. I could be journaling on that time, right? Getting more done. Okay, finishing the coffee. Gonna finish coloring this in. And I think in a second I'm gonna show the stationery setup that's been working for me for the past 2 weeks at school. Let's just do that now. Jessica said the exact situation, half-year Stalogy, did longhand journaling for 6 months, all of a sudden couldn't anymore. See, okay, then it's not just me. Is it the same size as mine? Which I think is it B6 plus or B? Oh, I'm so bad at sizes. And I don't have my size chart hanging up that I had in my old apartment because I didn't find it when I unpacked yet. It's a conundrum because if I get a bigger notebook, then it becomes too big and heavy to carry around. So I need to find a happier medium. Okay, so here's my Milu leather pencil case. I've talked about Milu. I have tons of their stuff for years. I've bought stuff from them. B6. It's a B6. I think B5 is the size I want. B5 is like the size of my Kokuyo campus notebooks, right? This is B5. Does it say? This I actually used all week in my workshops. This is a much better size, but it doesn't feel journaly enough for me because it's just like a notebook. So the struggle, nothing will ever feel 100% satisfying. So I just need to get over it. But here's Milu pencil case. My goal was to fit everything I need on campus in here. So all of my desk supplies plus my electronic stuff that I have to fit, my cables. So I'll show you that. Looks like a B6, could you try a half-year A5? It's the same height as the standard TN, and you wouldn't think it'd be bulky. Okay, let's take my standard TN. Katie says it's the same height. Yeah, so see how this is shorter than the height of a standard? I don't know, should I be crazy and try long-form journaling in a traveler's notebook? I just wasn't doing that because I feel like you could write about one thing and like take up a couple pages, and you know how traveler's notebooks pages, there's not that many, but then on the upside it's like you would go through a lot of notebooks and maybe that's more satisfying. I try to keep things separate so I don't like crisscross. Like I wanted this for my what's called memory planning, my cat comic, and my creative planning, which I do in the other notebook in here. And then I want one for like my planner, which is separate, and then I want one for like long form journaling, which is separate. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be keeping things separate. We'll work on that. That'll be something I'm gonna work on in the next few weeks, and I'll let y'all know. So it's pencil case. I wanted to just fit everything in here. First thing, my HDMI adapter. So I hook up my MacBook. Well, yeah, I hook up my MacBook to the projector to teach with, and I have to use a USB-C to HDMI converter. So I keep that in my pencil case so I don't lose it. Dry erase markers, because I do write on the whiteboard sometimes. I was using this a lot, just a Uniball Vision. This is like classic for me. This is one of those pens that like the rich kids in middle school had in the late 90s, and like I really wanted one. Gray Zebra mild liner, true Japanese version, not the American made ones. Ride or die. Page flags, if you're doing a PhD or master's, you need page flags all the time. I think these are from Dollar Tree. I've literally gone through multiple packs of these during my master's, so I'm assuming while I do my PhD, same thing. Faber-Castell highlighter. Who wants to hear the fun story about how I had a bunch of friction highlighters with me that I was using for the textbook I'm reading, which is very boring. Left it in my car for like an hour to run some errands. Came back in the next day to highlight things, and my frictions are all dead because they cannot be over whatever the temperature, 100 degrees. And of course it was like with the heat index in your car, it was like 120 degrees. So everyone take that tip about frictions very seriously, that don't leave frictions in your car in the summertime. So I felt kind of dumb for that, so I switched to ink-based highlighters. Portable mini charger, again, like $5 bin from Target years ago. Now that I have access to the outlet, like when I'm teaching at the podium, I don't worry about that because I can plug in my phone. Little mini phone charger. This isn't even a full one. It's like a little cable. Perfect for your pencil case. Whiteout. The stuff I bought at Kinokuniya, eraser and sharpener. Because I love jotting down notes with like a wood pencil. Red Stabilo. All my grading is done on Canvas digitally, so I don't really need to, but my own editing and my own notes, I like to use a Red Stabilo. Pentel Side Click, I think this is called. Mechanical pencil. Been using this every day for the past 2 weeks. Don't know why I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. There's nothing about it I don't like. Grid washi tape. Plain, keeping it professional. Random Uniball Signo. I forget what the Signo is. This is the RT. Uniball Signo RT in blue black. Wanted something that was clickable, wanted something that if I had to lend to someone and they broke it, I wouldn't be sad. Threw that in my pencil case. And last, the Oto Rays, which I think I post about in one of my short videos that I made, or whatever they're called, reels. Is it a short? Reel? I don't know. Love this because it looks classy, but it actually writes really nice because it's a gel pen. And all that fits in this little pencil case. This is all I need. So whether I'm jotting my own notes down or highlighting stuff in a textbook, writing on the whiteboard, doing stuff in my planner. Need a little washi tape because we always need a little washi tape. I don't have scissors, but I do have a little pocket knife in like my little cosmetics bag that I carry in my backpack. I love how this little charger fits in the pencil case, side note. And the most important thing is a USB adapter, or HDMI adapter. That's my pencil case. Let me take a quick look at the comments because I realized I went on a rant. Katie says a standard TN is A5 narrow, so an A5 Stalogy would be the same height but wider. Oh, I think that's what I need then. Something that's wider. Jessica said that's what you're gonna do in your olive. You've not. Oh yeah. Maybe mix it up and you'll use it. Jessica's off to run errands. Thank you for joining us, Jessica. Have a good weekend. Hope your errands go well. Yes, the pen was ruined, Katie. I was laughing because I left it in my car, had my highlighters, went into whatever coffee shop I was going in with my textbook, sat down to start highlighting the things in the textbook, and I'll show you, the tip was white because it was a red highlighter. The tip was white because it was 110 degrees. So It said, I know it says it on the packaging. Or, yeah, look. Do not expose to extreme temperatures over 140 degrees. I, I don't think it was really that hot, but it was in my car, and I'm assuming like when the car is closed and the windows are closed and everything, you leave it out in the sun, it does get that hot. Um, okay, to restore color, cool to at least 14 degrees in freezer, and the ink will write in color. I think I threw out the highlighter already, so whoops. Anyway, Benani says, you love the A5 to journaling, that's your jam. You found an old hardcover diary I've never used, so I'm journaling, bring down. Oh, hardcover, that's a nice way to mix it up. And yeah, don't throw it out, just use it for anything. Even if you rip the pages out, it might inspire you. And then this is the Zebra Surari 3C. Other obsession. Got it at the Japanese store Tesso. Was $1.95, I think, maybe $2.95. Never saw this zebra before. It's clear. It's like big. I love it. It's Zebra Surari ink with black, blue, and red. I've been using it in all my classes. I was using it to take roll this morning. Like, I think I'm going through like my transparent phase. Don't know what that's about. Love this. And I've been using this seminar pad from Okina, Japan. Because I've learned that instead of carrying around notebooks for all my stuff I'm jotting down when I'm writing in my seminars, I'm going to rip things out and just organize them later. That way I just have, basically I just want to have paper with me. And then as needed, use it, rip it out, put it where it has to go, whatever, instead of being like, oh, I need to use this notebook, or I left this notebook here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is what I had to learn about today, is constructivism versus constructionism, and symbolic interactionism, and all that fun stuff, and classical rhetoric, and enthymeme, which is deducing a conclusion from a general premise. Fun stuff. So I also like the size of this. It is a B5, Katie. I like how this actually says on the notebook. So it's like, feels like a full-size 8.5 by 11, but it's not. It doesn't take up that much space in my backpack. This I think will be featured in the video I'm gonna publish this weekend once I finish uploading it. Benani says Japanese stationery is a shizzle. You really have a nice collection. I'm obsessed with Japanese stationery. I think that if I could, I would probably just make my channel about Japanese stationery specifically. Yeah. But there's a lot of other non-Japanese stuff out there that's also exciting, but the Japanese stationery companies just do everything better than anyone else. Like, that's just a fact. The quality's better, all that stuff. But the video I'm gonna post this weekend, I go on a little rant about what some Japanese companies have been doing lately that I noticed. So if y'all are watching this, please go ahead and watch that later this weekend and let me know if you think that my opinion is accurate or not, or I'm just going crazy. So yeah. I've been enjoying these different things, and I do want to watch something good this weekend. I'm going to read something. And I think I lost the black colored pencil that this set came with. No, maybe I didn't. Okay, here it is. So I did go to Kinokuniya in, wait, did I already have I had a live since I went there? I don't know. I went to Kinokuniya Atlanta, was okay, don't feel the need to go back. There is a different store near there called Tesso, which is like a Japanese supermarket, or not supermarket, department store, I guess you would say, which was absolutely awesome. They had all kinds of stuff, almost no stationery. Most of the stationery was like for toddlers. I thought it was really funny that an entire store that was dedicated to Japanese like housewares and cosmetics and all that stuff. Uh, the only the only stationery I got here was this, which was funny. Um, didn't even have like bento boxes, which is like a pretty popular like gift giving thing, at least for Americans. Like bento boxes, like your typical Japanese cultural items. Like Daiso has bento boxes. No, this place, the only bento box they had was for like babies, like 3-year-olds, like little baby ones. Which I was surprised at. I'm like going up and down the aisles, the kitchen section. I'm like, how do y'all not have like bento box accessories? But that's just me, I guess. I was on the hunt. Yeah, I mean the nice thing, Katie, about Atlanta Kinokuniya is that it's big. Like the store is just physically big, and it's around all these other cool stores like Super H Mart, which of course I went to, because we don't have an H Mart here in Knoxville. And this Japanese store, I did go to a Korean spa, which was awesome. Um, and what else? But yeah, I felt like the Kinokuniya was just. I mean, they're still in their soft opening, so I can't really fault them. But I just felt like it was disheveled and messy. Um, yeah, I didn't. Maybe if it's cleaned up, I would like to go again. Well, I probably will go again, because let's be real, at some point I'm gonna go back to Atlanta to go to like the Japanese store again or the Korean spa, because it's about a 3.5 hour drive from here, so it's not like terrible. Right, bento is like TJ Maxx has bento, you know? Like, how does a Japanese store that I bought a bunch of other kitchen stuff, like all kinds of cool, I'm always looking for things that are like different or like Japanese design where it's like smart. I actually bought a tea set. Like, how did I have bento? They did have chopsticks at least. So, like, okay. But no bento sets? But they had tons of skincare. I would probably say there was at least at least 4 aisles devoted to skincare. Like there was an entire aisle of shampoo, different Japanese shampoos, an entire aisle of like face masks, an entire aisle of makeup. Like the most I've ever seen in any, more than Mitsuwa, more than Daiso, like more than all those places. So that was pretty cool. I bought some random things to try. Okay. Also, Benani, I think German stationery is pretty good. Some of my favorite brands, I'm not even going to say the S word, are like also my favorite. And they're also probably a little bit more accessible in the US. Um, and I think the quality is pretty much the same as Japanese quality. So I'd say Germany and Japan are like the stationery powerhouses, I guess. Whenever I'm in Germany or Austria, I always like look at bookstores or look at stationery stores and get like a fountain pen or something. Lamy is from Germany, so makes sense, right? And not to add to my logistical complaints about my new job, but for whatever reason, and I'm gonna talk to my supervisor about this on Monday when I have a meeting with him, like, I don't have a desk. I don't have a cubicle, I don't have a desk. My colleague who just started the same time as me, we were chatting about it today, and I'm glad that I talked to her because I had no idea other people were upset as I was. There's facility issues with the building that my desk was supposed to be in. Someone told me, like, oh yeah, just go and pick, like, just put a sticky note on whatever desk you want, like, it's open space. Went in there Thursday night or Wednesday night, and it's a complete mess. There's no open desks. There's like tables flipped over. Basically, facilities uses that building as storage because it's going to be demolished next year. Like, absolute nightmare. So that's one reason why I literally have to carry around all the things I need for teaching and stuff all day. I have nowhere to put like my lunch. Like, literally, I'm like a nomad walking around this giant campus, right? And I kind of was like, I'm not gonna like rock any boats or anything because I should just be thankful that I'm here, right? But when I was talking to my colleague today, she was like, we teach here. Like, this is an expensive university, has tons of money, and we're instructors. Like, why do we not have a place to at least put or lock up, you know, your purse or your laptop or whatever? Like, the fact that we don't have that is kind of wild. So after I talked to her about that, I felt a lot better. And I told her I'm going to bring it up to our director on Monday. I'm not asking for like my own office. I'm not asking for, you know, something fancy. I literally just want to have a desk that's mine because there's other people who have been here for a couple of years that have a desk. So I feel like why can't I have a space like something, a cubicle, like, or a room that has a lock that we're allowed to use. At my past university, we had like an adjunct room where I could go in and just like sit at a table and use the printer or just like chill for a minute. But we don't even have that here. I think that's pretty wild. So yeah, that's my last complaint of the day. Yeah, Benani, good German stationery brands are like Lamy, Online, Stabelos, Stedler. Is Faber-Castell German or is that British? I always get them confused. Yeah, they're all pretty good. Whoops. Oh, I can show you. This is a Stabilo marker. I think I already showed one when I was doing my pencil case, but I just had some out here on my desk. And then here's a Lamy rollerball. Is this the Tipo? I'm horrible with Lamy's names of their things. I think this is Tipo. It was like a unique looking one. And I don't think I have anything else fun. Maybe I shared this. This is my Jetstream with the Shiba Inus on it. I do love me some Jetstream ink, always. But for some reason, a Zebra Surari ink works better on regular paper. Jetstream is almost too smooth for like US copy paper or things off the printer. And it's finer, where this one is definitely thicker. I don't know, I'm such a lover of oil-based pens. I don't know why. They just work great all the time. So. Anyway. So, like I said at the beginning, if you're watching me on repeat, let me know what you're up to this weekend. And if you're unmotivated like I am. Yeah, how do I not have a desk or cubicle? I find that odd. So, I'll tell you what sparked this. my office hours with my students are on Zoom because I don't have a physical place for them to come to. So we're told, like, okay, they can meet you on Zoom. So today, when I had to log on for office hours, I was literally walking around the library to find a spot that I could set up my computer and Zoom, which means I have to talk, because our PhD Commons room, which is like a room in the library, there were no open desks. And on the lobby, where there's like a Starbucks and like people talk and chat, it's not quiet. I was like, okay, great. I can like set up my computer there and talk to students. But there were tons of people walking by. There were tour groups coming in. There were parents coming in. And it also brings up the concern of when I'm talking to a student about their issues, it's a FERPA, I guess it would be considered a FERPA violation, that like I'm saying stuff about them out loud in a public space that doesn't necessarily need to be said out loud. Like other people shouldn't hear what I'm talking about with a student, right? Like there's all these laws and regulations. So that was kind of what set me off, because my colleague was like, technically we're not supposed to be doing that, so why can't they give us some kind of office space or somewhere to go or whatever that we could have that? And I said, yeah, you're right. So I don't want to be walking around looking for a place to put my computer and headset every day. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy. I should have a place I can go to, scheduled, where I can talk on the phone. Yeah, a lot of them, a lot of the German ones, you might just not realize are German. They're pretty common. So here's what we did today. We drew a couple days in our traveler's notebook. Well, it is getting late for me here. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Be on the lookout for the video I will upload. I want to say it's my Kinokuniya haul, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I already uploaded that. I can't remember, I'm sorry. So I know in the video I'm about to post, I know when I recorded it, I went on a rant about something. So if you want to hear me rant again, go ahead and watch that video. I hope you all have a good weekend and stay safe, and hopefully you're not affected by any crazy storms or weather or 100-degree temperatures, all that fun stuff, and you get to do some writing. I will see you all next time. Take care.